It's kind of fitting that we're doing a review of a movie that's about space and extraterrestrial exploration on the day that the Area 51 raid is supposed to happen.
Energy.
Ad Astra is written and directed by James Gray.
And it stars Brad Pitt, Donald Sutherland, and Tommy Lee Jones. Also, before we start talking about stuff, I want to go and bring this up. Obviously, unless you don't ever watch our stuff and you don't know who we are, which is a very good possibility.
All around me are familiar.
We have, it's not really a new set, but we just changed stuff around. We used to sit like this back in our old set whenever we had like a desk behind us and us sitting right in front of the camera. And although I do like kind of the setup more with the desk in front of us, because I like a desk in front of us, I think this will help out the sound.
Yeah.
And in all honesty, I mean, what you're really coming here for is what we're talking about.
Right, exactly.
More than just what you see in the video.
Yeah, and I do just like being close to the camera and just in general too. So.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to start talking about this movie, Ad Astra.
Right. I keep getting it confused whether it's Astra or Astra, but I'm pretty sure, it's Astra.
Yeah, so we saw this movie tonight, and to be honest, I'm actually glad I haven't seen a movie like this in a long time where I didn't know what in the world I was going into.
Yeah, I remember telling you about it earlier this week, and you're like, what is that?
Yeah.
But even I didn't even know it even existed until like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
I didn't see the first trailer for it, or even like a trailer. I saw a commercial for it on TV.
Yeah.
I was like, what is that? That was Brad Pitt and Tommy Lee Jones, and how have I not heard about this?
Honestly, I didn't even see a trailer. The only trailer I saw, I didn't even see a trailer for it at all. Mm-hmm. I saw a commercial for it when we were at Chili's the other day, and you didn't hear the sound. You're like, oh, there's Ad Astra right there. And I'm like, oh, okay, I can see it. But like, so I had no idea what this movie was about. I could just tell it was in space from the commercial we saw at Chili's. But other than that, I didn't know what it was about. I'll say this: it felt like a lot of movies. It felt like a lot of movies, and I'm not going to say this movie copied anything. It definitely felt like its own original idea.
Yeah.
It just, to me, felt like it drew inspiration, I guess.
Yeah.
From directors like Denis Villeneuve, especially. Mm-hmm. It felt so much like a Denis Villeneuve movie, especially Blade Runner 2049.
Yeah, it felt like a Denis Villeneuve movie, like on cocaine.
Yeah,
It was like the slowness of Denis Villeneuve movies. He knows how to make a slow movie. Denis Villeneuve knows how to make slow movies, but still make them feel like they're not slow.
Yeah,
if that makes any sense. But this movie tried to do that, but I feel like it didn't succeed as well as Denis Villeneuve does in his movies. And the best way that I can kind of describe this movie is kind of like it has the sci-fi aspects of like Interstellar, but then it has like the slowness and realness or realism that First Man did.
Yeah, and then it has like the kind of like the color palette of Blade Runner 2049 at certain points. Mm-hmm. And it kind of has that kind of, I guess not really flat, it has like this flat feeling. And I guess I want to start off by saying some of the best things about this movie. And honestly, I want to say that most of this movie, a lot of things about it are great.
It really did, in my opinion, have a lot of ingredients. And it had like the recipe for like, to be a great movie. Mm-hmm. It just had, like you said, it had a few flaws that were kind of major flaws in our opinion.
And I want to start off by saying the great things, which is this movie is beautiful. The cinematography is pretty much perfect for this movie.
And really the visual effects and the production design is pretty much, it's like the definition of like movie magic.
Yeah, it really is.
In this movie. It's ridiculous the amount of work that they put into that and making it all look so real. Like I'll honestly be surprised if it doesn't win for visual effects and production design at the Oscars, or at least get nominated in those categories, because it's ridiculous.
Yeah, and I'll say that what's really cool is the way they use the cinematography in this movie, and the way they film and the way the production design is done, the way that the visual effects are done. You feel like you're there, and it's pretty crazy, because there's times whenever you're watching, and it's like I kind of feel like a feeling of like anxiety watching this movie, because there's these scenes whenever he's in a big open area in space, just that idea, but it looks so real, and the way it's filmed makes you feel like you're there. There's scenes when he's spinning around and losing control, and you're feeling like, oh my goodness, I'm here. Like, what if,
Exactly. Especially there's a scene at the very beginning, the opening scene, it's kind of an action type scene.
Yeah.
And I even turned to you and I was like, this is even making me dizzy, like in a good way. Like like you said, it was giving me kind of anxiety.
And obviously, it's the acting. I mean, you can't go wrong with any of the actors in this movie. You got Brad Pitt, James Earl Jones,
Close enough.
Tommy Lee Jones, Donald Sutherland. Those three people do great. Brad Pitt is the main character in this movie, and honestly, and I don't want to act like I'm the one who came up with this, because we're watching Jeremy John's review earlier, like yesterday, I think it was.
Yeah.
And he brings it up. It's so true. It almost feels like this movie was written for Ryan Gosling.
Yeah, it really does. He's able to, with his acting, he's able to like be a very quiet guy, but still have like an intensity, like in Drive and in First Man.
He knows how to make very good micro expressions, so to where it's not like completely out there, but you see his face, like, okay, I could feel it, I know what he's feeling. And it's like a lot of things where his dialogues, he doesn't have like a lot of dialogue, in the movie. So it just feels like a kind of written for Ryan Gosling. And yeah, like I said, Jeremy Johns said that. I didn't say it. Well, I did say it, but Jeremy Johns was just kind of made me think about it. Talking about that though, Brad Pitt really does hit it out of the park with the role. I really do think, even though it seemed like it was written for Ryan Gosling, I think Brad Pitt did what he needed to do with the role. I could tell the writing was really well done. With the dialogue was really cool too. Even though there wasn't a ton of it from the main character, but whenever he does talk, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Also, there's narration in this movie, and I'm not a big fan of narration.
Yeah.
But I felt like what?
Oh, I was gonna say that's what I was about to bring up. That they do use a lot of voiceovers and narration, and it could have been cheesy, but I feel like they did it decently.
Now I know it seems like we're bringing up a lot of good stuff, and that's because we do like this movie. But even though we're bringing up some of the most important parts, some of the most important parts of the movie are done great in this film. We kind of brought it up earlier, and that this movie, if you don't like slow movies, like, don't see this movie.
Yeah.
Like, this movie is very slow. It's a very slow movie. I will say, even though it is slow, you do feel a build-up. It's not just like slow for no reason, and then it's just slow, and then like just something random happens. There is an actual gradual build-up that you feel. I felt like the build-up should have been there a little bit more to maybe make this movie a little bit more exciting.
Yeah, because like we said, there's so many things that they did perfectly with crafting this movie, and I feel like I should have been more interested in this story, because it's a really interesting story, and it had pretty decent writing. It's just the pacing just bogged this movie down like so much for me that it was hard to get wrapped up in this. Like, honestly, if the rest of the visual effects and production design and all that weren't so great, it kind of would have brought this movie a lot more down.
Yeah,
for
exactly.
me.
And also like you said, like the writing, like a lot of stuff is done really well. Even Brad Pitt, they even go into his character with his father. It makes him an interesting character. But at the same time, it's like it's just very slow. And I mean, like I said, I can understand some people loving this movie. We saw it with our friend Liam, who had in our It Chapter 2 video. He loved it, and I can understand that. But to us, I just felt like it could have been a little bit better, a little bit more exciting. Because, man, you could feel the time in this. And honestly, it felt a little bit longer than it actually was.
Yeah, you just brought up It Chapter 2. And like we were talking about in our It Chapter 2 review, that you could feel the length of the movie. And it was 3 hours long. It Chapter 2 is 3 hours long, and you could feel the length. This movie, you could feel the length, but it was only 2 hours.
Yeah. And it felt maybe about as long as It Chapter 2.
Yeah, it really did.
So, I mean, you could feel the length in a little bit more of this movie. So, I mean, that really was a huge flaw to me. And I honestly don't have a problem with slow movies at all. It's just that I felt like this movie didn't really get a good slowness to it. Like you're saying, Denis Villeneuve knows how to make a slow burn movie that actually it actually is cool to watch. Like I can watch a lot of his movies over and over again.
Right.
Because even though they're slow, they're extremely entertaining. Well, guys, overall, this movie, I did enjoy it a decent amount. I will say this movie, I don't really see myself watching it again because of how slow it was and how hard it kind of is to watch. I mean, if someone wants to like watch it with me, I'll watch it with them, fine. But overall, like I would say, if you wanted to see this movie, go ahead and see it. I kind of would recommend it. and also just watching the visual effects and cinematography and the acting and the writing is really well done to go see this movie.
Like I said earlier, it had all the ingredients to be a great movie. It's just I felt like they tried too hard to make it a slow movie. I feel like you don't have to make a movie slow for it to be great, and I feel like they try to do too much with the pacing.
We are gonna say that Ad Astra is 80% awesome. Well, guys, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Also, comment and let us know what you thought about Ad Astra. And also let us know what you thought about this set, if you like it or not. If you like the sound, like we said, even though there's not as much you can see in the video, we do understand the most important part and what you're coming here for is us. And that sounded really weird because you're probably, we might have actually made you just jump right off this channel. So, But we understand you're coming here to hear what we have to say, and the audio quality is the most important part of that. So let us know what you think about that.
And don't forget to follow us on social media. We have a Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, all at 2 Awesome Men.
And a podcast. We have the Awesome Padron podcast, which we have put down to every 2 weeks. Wait, once every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Every other week. Every other week. We have a podcast
bi-weekly.
Bi-weekly, because right now it's a little bit harder for us. We're in school. Also, there's not a lot of news going around right now. So we have dropped it down to bi-weekly. Anyways, guys, like as always, thank you so much for watching, and you will see us later.